A bit of a follow-up to that case of the young girl with autism and the police officers. Obviously, there were lots of officers stood around. So, are police officers under any sort of duty to intervene if they see a colleague being out of order? Well, the simple answer is yes, they are. The College of Policing and the guidance that the police are given puts a duty on police officers if they witness misconduct from other officers to, first of all, intervene if they are on the scene, but also to report to the appropriate authorities. And what are the consequences if they fail to do that? Well, it can be dealt with internally. Under the internal disciplinary proceedings, so you've got, it's gross misconduct not to intervene. There's also a concept of gross incompetence, which is, well, you didn't actively do anything wrong, but your performance fell below the required standards such that that becomes a disciplinary offence itself. And we have seen cases on this. There's a case of an unfortunate guy called Kevin Clark who died in custody. And the officers who just didn't intervene, they were subject to disciplinary proceedings. Also, it can amount to a criminal offence. There is an offence of misconduct in public office. That's actually an old common law offence, which just goes to show how far back this concept goes. Public office, it can cover lots of occupations, but police officer is certainly one of them. So yeah, if it's so egregious, yeah, they can actually be prosecuted. And it's going to be very interesting, I think, to see what will happen with this particular case as to whether any action is taken against the officers who just effectively stood there. I mean, it might be that they are sort of dealt with for, taking an active role in it. But, if it's found to be an unlawful arrest, and we've discussed the fact that, there's the issues about Section 4 and the fact that it was in a dwelling, yeah, they might be they might be disciplined just for that. But even if they just stood there and said, well, look, we didn't take an active part, they may still be in some trouble. And we also saw this in America recently. One of the officers in that, the unfortunate George Floyd case. Obviously, the main guy, he's been sent to prison for a very long time, but they've just sentenced one of the other officers. He's got 57 months in prison, and the judge said, your duty was to intervene. You could see that that was completely out of order. You could see that, your colleague was basically killing somebody, and you did nothing to stop him. So, off to prison you go. So there you go. Let's see what happens. If you found that useful, interesting, or whatever, please consider clicking the like button, subscribing, and sharing.